In 2021, WWF-Canada and researchers at McMaster University's Remote Sensing Lab released a national carbon map for Canada, which depicts carbon stocks in plant biomass and soils across the country. At WWF-Canada, we've used the map, in addition to a recent analysis on land cover change, to assess the additionality of establishing new protected areas in southern Canada. What does that mean? Well, essentially, it's unlikely that all ecosystem carbon is at risk of being released to the atmosphere. Instead, we need to determine how much carbon would be vulnerable to release if a region was not protected. And to do so, we looked at the last 10 years of land conversion across Canada to develop rates of land cover change. Today, I'm going to walk you through a quick 1-minute tutorial on how to evaluate the additionality of establishing a new protected area through the lens of ecosystem carbon and climate mitigation. First things first, you'll need to download the rates of land cover change from our account on Figshare. The link can be found below or in the accompanying one-pager. This data is in shapefile format and represents the rate of land cover change from natural to non-natural land cover classes. Secondly, you will need a shapefile of your area of interest. I'm going to use an arbitrary area that I drew. Let's call it the Panda Protected Area. And finally, you will need to identify the total carbon stock within your area of interest. You can refer to our previous video on how to do this. For this particular example, the total carbon stock is 5.7 million tons of carbon. Open ArcGIS, I'm using the Pro version for this tutorial, and set up your project. Simply overlay your area of interest with the shapefile depicting rates of land cover change, and select the hex bin in which your area resides. From the attribute table, you can assess the rate of natural to non-natural land cover types, and vice versa, as well as other variables that may be of interest to you. The rate of land cover change from natural to human land cover classes for the Panda Park is 18.15%. To assess the additionality of establishing the Panda Protected Area, we take the total carbon stock, which was 5.7 million tons of carbon, and multiply by the rate of land cover change, which is 18.15%. So, given the rate of land cover conversion in the region, we estimate that 1.03 million tons of carbon is the additional carbon benefit of establishing the Panda Protected Area. This value only accounts for estimates of land cover change and does not account for ecological degradation, which could increase the amount of vulnerable carbon in the region. Note that the Panda Park falls perfectly within one hex bin. If it fell into multiple, we could take the average rate of land cover change and apply that value. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our science team at science@wwfcanada.org.